Alright, we're back. Welcome to another video review by me, Kozan. Today we're watching a Winston on Hollywood. He's a diamond Winston. We're watching it in the visor.gg window. I've never really seen this. I don't know if there's an ability to turn down this weird circle thing that's popping up everywhere, but I don't know. It looks funky. I really didn't get a lot of benefit from watching it like on the visor thing, but I'm not sure. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, let's talk about team composition over here. When do we... I wrote this down. 125, we have a nice overview. Also, I don't have any...
Okay.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So... let's talk team composition over here and where you should position yourself, because you are the one person that can actually dive in this composition, right? You want to be very defensive. You don't have a diva that can save you with her matrix, basically. It's the main thing you need to consider here. Also, you don't have a tracer or a Genji that can dive in with you and put in that little bit of extra burst damage for you to jump bigger groups of multiple squishies. Alright. Now you have 2 hit scans, so they're going to be very stationary first of all, and you know that's basically what we're talking about. The Rhino as well, Zenyatta as well, Mercy as well. So basically you want to try to keep with corners, especially now that you're defending. You can kind of try to hold this corner over here and then maybe jump backwards. You can try to hold the corner here and then rotate back onto the point again, kind of like that.
I can swap the Winston if it's not working out.
Let's see. Okay, so right now over here, if you're already over here on this corner, they can't see you, but as soon as this Winston gets out, you'll be able to just zap him, right? You do got to be careful though. Okay, putting down this bubble, that was a pretty good bubble. You didn't put it too far forward, allowing them all to shoot it at one time and immediately popping. And it did unfortunately still immediately pop. You kind of put it over here, just allowing you to be over here. Your Rhino is not in front of you. You don't have bubble anymore though, so I would recommend trying to jump backwards. Okay, so luckily you do survive there. Over here, right, so again, just try to hold this corner. Right now you're gonna have difficulty getting value or immediate value. You're not really contesting extra space for your team. Going up here. Luckily for you, the Hanzo is there. So as soon as you push this Hanzo out, I would say already go backwards. Don't chase him right now. You don't know what else is over there. He probably is going to get healed up. Luckily, your Mercy is healing you up as well.
Coming from front.
But yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. If you had a full charged headshot, you probably would have died there. And maybe some other burst. So luckily for you, that was pretty good actually. Staying up there. They don't have a lot of people, I think, to really get on top here. They have them basically the monkey, the Hanzo, and for the rest they have. Well, they have was it Moira? Moira and McCree. So yeah, those guys can't hit the high ground at all. Also Reinhardt, so also not being able to get on the high ground. So let's talk about what went wrong there. So killing this Hanzo, good job, staying on this high ground over here. I wouldn't have minded actually if you stayed on this high ground, kind of patrolling this border, and as soon as you see them commit to a fight, then you can go in. Just wait around this edge over here, you can zap them from this high ground to the low ground. Look at this, there was no reason for you to jump down. You could still zap him and just make this space very uncomfortable for them to work with. Especially, I'm saying this especially because your bubble is still on cooldown. If you did have your bubble and also your jump, this would be a lot more viable for you to do. But right now, especially because they do have the Anna and the McCree, and you weren't very aware yet of what they were running, right? You didn't have a good glance of what they were actually running. So this is kind of like a scary thing for you to do. You want to poke out first and zap them from the high ground, then you can see what they have. Then you're a lot safer for the flashbang and the potential sleep. And yeah, right now jumping in there as well, it was probably not the best thing to do. You probably want to, especially with this composition, you want to use it to dive back to safety again. especially because you started out on the high ground. You're able to jump on top of them. Also, you jumped in front of them, and jumping behind or falling behind them probably would have been better. You know, forcing them to turn around and look at you and not being able to see anything that's going on the point. Another small thing.
Nah, huge shatter, buddy, huge. Oh no, you didn't get any. Sorry.
Luckily for you though, your Zen was fragging out and the rest of your team managed to clean up.
Anna's got no sleep.
So it wasn't actually completely wrong what you were doing, you just did it a bit too aggressive and in a way where you weren't fully aware of what was going on in their team, and yeah, just a little bit unsafe, right? And you got punished for it. So if your Zen didn't frag out there as well, this could have still gone a lot worse.
Huge. Nah, huge shatter, buddy, huge. Oh no, you didn't get any. Sorry. Oh, you got both of them. Anna's got no sleep.
So good noticing the Anna doesn't have sleep here, jumping in a
huge stagger.
good stagger. As soon as you hear them all shout fall back, I would fall back, especially because like you just saw that nobody really was here except for the Reinhardt.
Nice.
So now you're kind of stranded here. You do hear the Reinhardt charge, so definitely want to stay on the right side of the wall.
Big buddy, nice.
Unfortunately that happens. And now your Mercy jumps in trying to save you both. Oh god, yeah.
I told you, please do not ever push.
So I don't think you guys really overpushed. It's only because the rest of your team was incapable of following up on you with you.
Should we contest?
You should not contest.
I mean, we can try it, but
they had 4 people on the points. Let me see. You just lost your soldiers, so that's a thing.
No.
You can kind of hold this area over here. Let's see if I'm forgetting anything. No, we're fine. We're fine.
Nice.
Okay, so you just got hit by a Hanzo arrow on the left side of you, and you're still chasing this monkey. The reason I don't like you chasing this monkey is, first of all, it's a monkey. You know, it's not really a target for you to take down, and especially if you go inside of here, I mean, you do have your ult available, so it's a little bit safer to do so, but if you go inside of here, you cannot jump backwards. You want to stay outside of this hallway, so you're always capable of jumping backwards. Also, there was a Hanzo on the left side of you, so, you know, if you jumped him and used your bubble on top of him, you definitely would have been able to take him down. And instead, you chased the Winston, and, yeah, you don't get a lot of value.
We need to regroup.
I can jump down.
There's no reason we should be fighting right now.
He's very right. Right now, you did lose a lot of people. You lost your Mercy. I think you lost your Soldier as well. They have a clear respawn advantage. I would say just try to take the high grounds and try to keep them from pushing into you, especially because they have Reinhardt, so it's going to be very difficult for them to get on top of the high ground and really contest you there.
Winston's going left side.
So nice. Going on top of this Winston, that's fine.
I would like to jump on them in 3, 2.
When you say I would like to go jump on them, you probably want to have a target as well that you're going to try to target. Also, let me go back really quickly.
Jump
You
on
never
3,
checked
2,
whether or not they switched to
1.
something, and look at this. That's a Reaper. That's a Reaper now. The Reaper should have probably shot you in the face, and you know, one hammer swing, the Anna nade, you would have been dead. Or you should have died. Basically, if you were on top of the high ground right there a little bit sooner, and then use that high ground to jump down, you still have your jump to get out again, you still have your ultimate to start engaging. Also, you have a better, clearer view of where the enemy is, which target is available to you to dive, and yeah, you like, now the Soldier is killing the Anna, but you probably could have killed the Anna yourself if you wanted to. She was very far backwards, and yeah, going for the Rhine there, that's fine.
Reaper left side even. What?
Thank you. Reaper no shift, Reaper no shift. He's going for the mega
Got
health.
health back.
We take him down. He's got no shift. We got him. Huge pick.
So that's good. Oh, that's unfortunate. So definitely jump up to the Hanzo. Right. Very nice. And now just stay on the high ground. If you take this position over here, it's the best place to be. You can drop down, have that second jump out. Instead, you guys hold the low ground over here, and it's just a lot harder to do. You have a lot less freedom and less oversight of what's going on, where you can go to, who's available for you to kill, blah de blah de blah. I'm gonna try to not talk about that too much over and over again.
Zarya no self bubble?
Am I forgetting anything? We are 430 something.
Monkey's half.
Like, I get that when you first jumped in, you still had your ultimate, so it's a lot more doable. Oh, this is a big thing as well, actually. Okay, there's a couple of things that happen here. So first you chase the monkey. That's fine because everybody's targeting him and he's discorded. But then what you do... Alright. I need to pause it a little bit quicker here. So, alright, so now you're out of ammo. You start reloading. You still have jump, but also your Zen is using trance, so you're perfectly fine here and there's no reason for you to jump. Also, you're reloading and then you're jumping, so you're already at 100 ammo again, and now you're hovering in the air, not being able to target anything because, you know, it's with no reason. What you can do is jump upwards as soon as you hit the reload, and then as you're done reloading, you're dropping on the ground again and you're ready to do damage. Also, you probably could have done a small jump with holding backwards and then jumping in, because there is a trance over here, so you know there's no reason for you to try and avoid being shot, because right now you're actually putting yourself into more danger and you're more viable to getting shot. A little bit slow here also with the bubble, allowing the Ana to shoot you with the sleep. I do think it was available. Let me double check. Was it available? Was it available? Yeah, it was definitely available. So you want to drop your bubble right here somewhere. Well, there's still Reaper there, so right now just drop that bubble. Yeah, you had plenty of time. Okay, that was an alright escape with the jump.
We got him. Mora.
Okay, so over here,
Left side.
it's also a thing that we can talk about. Alright, so Mora is one. You had 90, well, okay, 85 charge right now when you started shooting the Moira, right? Now you're just zapping the Moira ball, and you're zapping the air right here. You're on 45 now. Zapping, not hitting anything, and now you're on 26 ammo. And now you're about to go in, and you're gonna start the fight while having to reload. You would have killed this Hanzo straight up, easily. The only reason that he survives now is that your soldier got a kill on the Moira. Otherwise, you might have even had to pop your ult to get this, secure this kill. But yeah, if you hadn't shot your, what was it, like 50 ammunition, if it wasn't more, you definitely would have killed this Hanzo. And now you have to reload. Luckily, your bubble is blocking healing from the Ana. And he still kills your soldier because you didn't secure your kill quick enough.
Unlucky, buddy. Unlucky. Jump to Winston.
Because you were actually shooting the air by such a large amount.
The Hanzo should have the ult up again.
Okay. So definitely high grounds. Take the high grounds here again, right? So what you're doing right now, you're kind of scouting around on this left side. You jumped in without checking really, and if they were a little bit further, you would have been blown up here. The bubble is wasted kind of as well, kind of as a scouting bubble in this case. If you were on top of the high ground, Excuse me. If you were on top of the high ground, you would have been able to see this group just as easily as you can see them right now. You do have your ultimate, so you're a little bit safer, but still, if you were on the high ground, you still would have had this bubble. You still would have been able to just jump in whenever you need to and still have your jump out. Because now you're gonna have to use your jump out, I think, to get away. Well, maybe not actually. Don't push on you.
Reaper's on point. Reaper's got no shift.
Maybe no shift, so you could have done a small jump there, and then popped your bubble to try and combat the Reaper. Going after the Hansa, that's fine.
Hansa done. Anna.
So finding the Hansa there is really good. I like that I like how you're trying to avoid the Reaper here.
We should be able to contest again. Oh no, you're still there. Still good.
How far are we in already? 15 minutes, okay. Let's just see this. You just lost a lot of people. The card is still over here. I'd say just stay on the card, die on the card, and then you most likely still have another opportunity to come back as a full group. Right now you're on 22 HP. I know this because I've seen this VOD before. You're gonna try to rotate around. Luckily you make this, but honestly you shouldn't have made this. You should have been punished here.
I'm at 20 health.
And now it's taking the longest time. Your Zen has the trance because it's taking too long to heal you back up again. Now you're going in, and there's a Reaper over there, so obviously this is not gonna go well. If you had stayed on the point, I think over there somewhere, maybe you would have been able to go in again with the trance, use the trance on top of the point, and actually have a good fight with it instead of just using it far away from the enemy team. You know, and not get that much value because it was used just to try and get you back up again as quickly as they could.
It says. Watch out, Mercy Genji's around. He died.
Am I forgetting anything? We're at 6:45.
This. Now we can
Okay,
solve it.
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, can do. There's a Reaper upstairs. Oh, fucking Deeper's up there.
Reaper's got no shift.
Nade.
Okay, so your bubble usage is okay up until now. Right now, this bubble doesn't really do a lot. It doesn't allow you to engage. It doesn't allow you to really deal damage to anybody. It's not forcing anybody out of the fight. They also have a lot of people just shooting it right now straight up without being able to attack anything else. So you're not singling out anybody with your bubble and not allowing them to partake in the battle. It's kind of a thrown away bubble, and right now, without getting any value out of it, you're gonna have to jump back basically and wait for your bubble to re-engage again. Also, your soldier and diva died?
I'm budding block.
Oh, that's over there, I guess.
But I'm so low.
I'm not sure why they died. 100%.
Unlucky.
Okay, so your entire team is dead right now. I would say jump back to the spawn room. Just right now, as soon as you can. Jump back into over here or the other side. You can jump over the van and then try to get to the spawn door as far away as you can, and then wait for a big group again and then re-engage with that. Okay, instead you go in again with a very big disadvantage, you know, a fight that's really difficult for you guys to win at that point. Probably impossible, and right now you do not have a good moment to really recontest the point, and you're just gonna have to snowball one by one into this fight.
Nice.
You guys kind of start cleaning up. Unfortunately, not really targeting over here, so you're going for the Ana, that's good. As long as you can keep the contest going, that is fine.
Can we sort
So
of
your
take
diva's
that
doing a great job with that and allowing you to go on the back here. Keep targeting one target. So kinda off there a little bit when you're targeting. Not sure what you wanted to target. It felt like.
Baby diva,
You're also going back right here now. You're not using your trends efficiently again. You do have the trends, and you're walking back to your barrier for extra cover. Obviously, you could have just kept on pushing here with the trends And then just as soon as the trance ends and there's too many people here, you still have your jump available as well. Instead now, if you want to engage on the back line, you're gonna have to use your jump backwards. Or you'll jump forwards and then you're stuck there. So again, this is something with like the small jump. I'm not sure if you're aware of the small jump. Like if you hold backwards and then use shift, you have a small jump. Because it looks like you want to hit the Zarya with extra damage with your jump. But yeah, if you use a small jump, that would be a lot more efficient, obviously. Now again, I'm not sure if it would have been extremely worth it, just because they also have the Reaper and the D.Va, so you probably just wanted to keep chasing her regularly. In that case. Am I forgetting anything? Double check. No, I didn't really have anything written down for this. So I like you just holding this corner. This is good abuse of the terrain. I wouldn't mind it again though, right? If you're up on the high ground over there, and then you can kind of rotate through here and jump on their backline again, on their Ana. Right now you're kind of focusing on their Reaper, and yeah, it's your natural enemy, right? You don't want to be fighting the Reaper or the D.Va, and now you were fighting both of them.
No, we can't. Unlucky.
And as you were fighting both of them, they were still being able to get massive support from the Moira and the Ana at the same time. So if you were actually on top of the high ground already, ready to rotate through, and then been able to drop down on the Ana and the Moira without using your shift, keeping the shift to jump backwards, that, you would have had a little bit of a easier time there. Maybe you could have made something work there. Okay, going into the offensive. Let's see, I have 1046 written down. Let's go there. Bam, okay. So now you have a little bit more of a diving force. You have a Ana and a soldier though, so they aren't as mobile, but this map is pretty good for such a comp. You can kind of play this pretty easily. What you want to do is try to get your Ana and your soldier up onto the high ground, or at least make that area available for them to use. You can do this really easily as Winston and D.Va, obviously, by just jumping up there. And when I say high ground, I'll point it out as soon as we get there. We have 14 seconds. Let's see if we can skip ahead a little bit. I guess it doesn't really want to skip ahead. Okay, so they have a Symmetra. Gotta be a little bit slower with your approach. Watch out for Symmetra turrets. Try to find that big Symmetra jungle turret. Okay, so good, attentive to it, very attentive to it.
Go left.
That's good. Alright, so what I meant with high ground is the high ground over here. Just jump up there, allow your, this bubble over here is really good as well, it's perfectly fine. Then the soldier and the Ana can rotate through here, go up on the staircase, and then if somebody is over there, you already sandwich him, right? Because you're jumping up there, and then the Ana and the soldier are coming around over from this way. So you can already go up there. Going left here, the reason why I don't like this is it's a tiny choke. And you're not really using, it's really difficult for you to jump on the backline. You don't have eyes on it where they are. You don't see what's going on. And, well, let's just kind of see how this goes, right? First of all, the fire strike is amazing here because it is such a tiny choke. Their Moira does very well here. The Torbjorn, well, I guess shotgun does a little bit better here as well if you get up close like this, but yeah, it's not the worst. But the Symmetra though, the Symmetra balls are a lot harder to avoid because it is such a tiny choke.
Get that right.
Get the right.
So you're trying to optimize your cleave damage here. You can hold over here a little bit more, just crouch and then be a little bit of an annoying force.
We're taking too much time right now here.
Yeah, you probably wanted to be a little bit more decisive and just jump over the Reinhardt.
got 2 picks.
Armor's pretty low.
And then try to find a target like McCree. Use your bubble on him, and then, but yeah, what I wanted most of all was use to secure this high ground. Make sure that there's nothing there that can hurt your DPS and Anna, or Soldier and Anna. They both go up there, and then they're gonna have grand old time, especially against a team comp they have right now. Let's see what they have. Okay, look at this comp. Nothing is going to be able to compete with the high ground, right? If you have a Soldier and an Anna on the high ground, they're going to have a really, really great time, your Anna and Soldier. They can just move backwards. I'm not going to go into high ground advantage that much for hit scan, because it seems pretty obvious to me. You just walk backwards and you line of sighting the enemy. It's amazing, right? And none of their heroes can jump up there very easily, so
should be beyond.
they're going to have to go through this little choke over here. So that's very easy for a Helix, that's very easy for a Flask, it's easy for a Sleep, and yeah, it's really good for them.
We got her. She didn't put up the TP, did she?
Yeah, she did.
Going over there, okay, so right here, there's a little bit of a thing with your targeting. The McCree is over there. I would have liked you to just go there, especially because your bubble's still up here, so you would be line of sighting anything that comes from behind you. Instead, what you're doing is going for the Torbjorn and then going for the level 1 turret. And this is one of the bigger mistakes, I think, as well. Killing this level 1 turret is not going to do anything for you. Yeah, it almost takes as long for you to take it down as the Torbjorn will just have a new turret available, right? And he's going to put it down instantly, is the thing. And where is your D.Va, actually? Okay, your D.Va is very far in, also your Soldier. So, I think if you went actually for the McCree straight immediately, you might have been able to take him down, and you also would have been in a better advantage or a better spot for you to jump back towards the Mega over there.
What's Nano at?
12, 57, that's fine.
Sure.
13, okay, so over here, you have your ultimates. You're kind of capable of going in more aggressively. They switched their Orisa to a Roadhog though, so that's very dangerous for you. So it's a bit unfortunate. It would have been better if it still was an Orisa for you, of course. So it's a little bit more tricky for you to really get plays going. But you do have your ultimate, so right now you're kind of waiting around, not really sure what to do. You want to be a little bit more decisive. You're going to be able to attack a lot more often. Going through this little choke though, it's not the greatest. Obviously you can't really jump out very nicely. You'll have to walk through this little choke before you can actually use your jump ability, and you're going to take a ton of spam before you actually are able to get out here. Then you put your bubble up here. Again, right, it's not a great bubble. It's going to be burst immediately because there's a lot of spam damage from them. It's straight in the choke, so yeah, it's kind of a wasted bubble as well. You wanted to jump in on somebody and then drop your bubble on top of that person and use your bubble to duel that person. So from over here as well, we see the Roadhog. There's a couple of things you could have done. You could have jumped up here right now, but I think you actually saw him a little bit earlier. This kind of comes down to you not wanting to go through there. But yeah, when you saw him over here, I wouldn't have minded actually if you still jumped up here and then collapsed on him from this side. Especially because you still have your ult again. Yeah, you can sandwich this Roadhog, and then if he tries to retreat over here, you can use your ult and then smack him down the staircase again, securing that kill. That would have been a guaranteed kill, right? Or that should have been a guaranteed kill. So it takes you a little bit too long to jump on top of that Roadhog. Also, you didn't have your bubble yet, so even if you did jump on top of him, you would have been able to save your... Was it Soldier? Oh no, Soldier's still alive, so that's really good. But the Roadhog is still alive as well, so yeah. And then going around here again, like it would have been better if you were just playing Roadhog or Reinhardt and Zarya in this case, right? Because you're on the low ground, you're not really abusing your mobility enough to justify being Winston in this situation.
Maybe you should. Go for a Pharaoh.
So yeah, you lost your a lot of teammates there, so I don't mind you dying there. But yeah, it's basically because you're taking too much time to actually engage. Let me silence this. You're taking too much time to actually engage, so your team is getting impatient and they're taking unneeded poke, and they're just dying because of this. Okay. Switching to the Pharah, actually, I think this was you suggesting this. It's a little tricky as well because you do not have a Mercy. You have an Anna and a Moira. Now the Anna can kind of shoot the Pharah. It's alright, it's decent, but it's, you know, it's not a Mercy. The Pharah is not going to be able to stay alive for very long, especially if she's going to stay backwards because she's going to have to deal with the turret. It's I don't know. I don't like the pick. So Tifa going in here, that was a bit of unfortunate. You had your bubble available, so as soon as you heard the Rhine shatter, you actually do have a little bit of a moment. And now you finally start to getting aggressive. You already lost your Anna and your Diva mech, but this still goes alright for you because of this aggression of yours. Because you now finally open up this point really for plays being made. You shot down the McCree, you shot down the Moira trying to save the McCree. And then you go in after the Lucio. So that was very good decisive. You jumped over the tanks when the tank was... well, let me see that again actually. What did the Reinhardt do? One more time. Right, the Reinhardt shattered, right? And then tried to go in very aggressively. He overcommitted. He went beyond this corner over here a little bit too much. And then he got punished for it. But... okay, so targeting him down, very good. And then you go in. So actually that's really good. That's perfectly valid. The Reinhardt went in too aggressively. You helped punish him with your team, and then you went in for the aggressive push. But you can actually try to already go in for a more aggressive push when the Reinhardt is there and just jump over the Reinhardt. Then the Reinhardt is going to be forced to... Let me think how I can show this. I'm just gonna wait until you look over here. All right. So if the Reinhardt is over here, and their McCree is, for example, over here, well, their McCree is over here. If you, oh, okay, so Reinhardt, McCree. If you walk up to the Reinhardt near this corner and then just jump over on top of the McCree and then start using this corridor, the Reinhardt, I should stop McCree. Okay, fuck it. There we go. Okay, so you jump over him, go on top of the McCree. The Reinhardt is going to be forced to either try and fight your entire team without his DPS there, or he's going to have to walk all the way over here to try and deal with you. And in that time that he's trying to walk over there, you're already creating so much space because now your team is free to walk into here. Or they're, you know, capable of dealing with a Reinhardt without him having the support of his McCree. Also, the enemy healers is going to have to decide, am I going to support the front line or am I going to support the McCree that's now being targeted down by the Winston? Right? And Moira, especially Moira, very important for Moira, she does AoE healing, so she's not really capable of healing multiple people, obviously, if they're this far apart. So she's going to have to decide whether she's going to support the Reinhardt or the McCree. If you're just trying to fight the Reinhardt head-on with your entire team, then the Moira is going to have a very easy time. The McCree is going to have a very easy time. And their entire team, basically, right? The Reinhardt is doing his job amazingly because he's keeping the entire enemy team preoccupied. And he's just using his barrier and not allowing your team to really do anything. You're only zapping him slowly, but you know it's more easily enough for the Moira to just heal him up again. So yeah. Try to keep that in mind. Try to always jump over the Reinhardt, jump on top of the back line, and then force the Reinhardt to either commit to a fight back to you or go for a very disadvantaged fight over there. Right now, you're not really abusing your mobility enough.
Hold on, spot.
Top right side.
So I really like this as well. Jumping in over here, forcing this McCree and Lucio back. You're backing up again. I wouldn't have minded actually if you go a little bit to the right now and line of sight the entrance behind you. And just wait for that McCree and Lucio to show up again. So yeah, this. Dancing with that corner over there, beautifully done. You could have called it out actually for your diva to follow up there a little bit quicker. But yeah, now you're pressuring this. I don't like the bubble over here. Again, it's a Reinhardt, right? What can he do against you over here? This is actually, yeah, the more I think about it, this bubble is wasted. Fire Strike goes straight through this and there's nothing there. So you wanted to save this bubble. And then as soon as you saw the diva jump in over here, you wanted to follow up. It takes you too long to jump in after with your diva. And if you had your bubble over here, this fight would have been easier for you as well, right? It would have been a lot safer. You would have been safer against the flashbang. You would have been safer against Van the Hammer. And this would have been an easier cleanup. Whew, that was close. How far in are we? Okay, this is getting a long one. Staying on the high ground here. I would have liked you to, again, stay on the high ground. Yada, yada, yada. I think I can kind of end it here. I think I've given the insights I really wanted to. Let me see what else I can talk about. So yeah, if you were on the high ground over there, again, right, it's easier for you to jump on the back line. And you're, especially, again, with your ultimate, you're going to be able to take those guys down. Right now, you're going to have to use both of those abilities. You're Pharah actually carrying here. You're kind of lucky actually that you got booped backwards there a little bit. Otherwise, this Pharah ult, you would have fucked up your Pharah's ult by booping away the soldier and the Lucio. But yeah, okay. There's one thing over here again. I think I'm just reiterating points, right? You'll go in. You're gonna go inside of here in a moment to try and help with the Reaper. But if you'd stayed here and just try to keep this entrance contested so the Reaper can't get out. First of all, it's easier for you to jump backwards to that Mega over there. I didn't see anybody take the Mega, so I'm assuming it's still there. And right now, you know, you can't jump backwards, and the Roadhog has an easy kill on you. So let's see. Actually, so no, maybe actually somebody did take it. Let's see. Roadhog vision. Okay, we don't get to see it. That's unfortunate. But yeah, like, it would have been easier for you to jump upwards as well, right? Get more distance between you and the Roadhog. You don't want to fight the Roadhog anyway as soon as he uses that heal. You're not going to get him down. Unfortunate, but yeah. Anything big, really? Anything else? I guess, like, right now, what we're watching at right now, there's one thing. You're going in again. Now let's look at your cooldown. So you're able to jump now. And look at how long it takes you to jump again, right? You would have had another jump in that time. And if you had jumped up on the high ground, first of all, you would have had a clearer sight of what was going on. You would have been there a lot quicker to support your team. They're already fighting, right? And you would have been able to find the soldier and whatever else you wanted to fight. And now you're jumping in like this, and you're right in the face of the Reaper and the Roadhog, right? So you're already in a very dangerous situation. They should have no problem killing you in this case, because you're not really thinking about your jumping and where you're gonna go to, and not really pre-scouting before you jump. Those are the big takeaways. So let me try to reiterate some points. Reiterate some points for you. Take the high grounds as much as you can. When there's a Reaper and a Roadhog, try to jump where they are not. Don't jump on top of them. Jump where they are not, and stay away from them. And then if they try to deal with you, because you know they are your counters, so they want to fight you, you just jump away again. You jump far away from them. You target something else. They're trying to walk towards you, and when they finally reach you, you jump away again. You just steer clear of those guys. Now, another thing, try to jump over the Reinhardt, make him chase you about, don't head-on engage him, otherwise you would have been better off just playing Reinhardt yourself. Use your jumps more to get onto the high grounds, and oh my god, just keep taking the high grounds. The high grounds are very important. They're gonna give you more oversight. It's gonna allow you to just drop in on them without, you know, line of sighting them, well, with line of sighting them for a very long time, up until it's kind of too late already and you're right on top of them. So you're gonna have less time walking towards them and taking initial poke where you're not capable of dealing damage towards them. Abuse corners. This is more of a thing on the defense. You were kind of walking back a little bit too much in the open. You can stay a little bit more on top of the corners, especially if you have such a slow team and you want to use your jump then to go backwards. On offensive, I would say try to be more decisive. Try to use your ult a little bit more as a playmaking thing. Like, I think... Actually, this is the one thing we can use Visor for. Look at this. This is on offense, right? So this is where you got your ultimate. And then all this time, you did not use your ultimate. So let's see. That's one fight. That's another fight. And that's another fight. And then you finally win. And that's when you use your ult, when you finally do win. So you can be a lot more aggressive. Like right here, wait for the D.Va. As soon as the D.Va's back, you're gonna jump in on the McCree, on the Torbjorn, whatever you want, whatever you see is more available to you. Again, if you get on top of the high ground, right, it's a lot easier for you to see who's available to you. But then you can be a lot more decisive, and yeah, that's mostly that. That's reiterating the points. All right. I think that was it. Let me think. I'm trying to come up whether or not I'm forgetting something else. I don't think I am. I think that was pretty much it. I think I'm gonna call it here for you today. It's been a long one again, so I hope you had some useful information. I hope this is gonna help you out. And yeah, let me know how it worked out. I would love to know. And good luck. Have fun. See you next time. Bye bye.